We're talking about envy, that creepy little sin. When I think about envy, I'm reminded of a movie that I watch with my grandchildren. Being a granddad of 4 kids these days, my perfect afternoon is to be in a big stuffed chair with a couple of grandkids on the floor and one on each knee, and we watch Cinderella together. They want to watch Cinderella over and over and over and over. But there's one part that they hate. When we come to the wicked stepsisters, Anastasia and Drusilla, I sure hope none of you who are watching this today are named that, and if you are, my sympathy goes out to you. The wicked stepsisters, envious of Cinderella and her beauty and all the things they do to her. My grandchildren are all 4 under age 5, and yet every one of them knows that somehow what these 2 sisters are doing is wrong. At times they'll even say to me, "Pops, why don't you fast forward through this part?" They hate seeing this. Envy. It is that creepy little sin. Envy has some cousins, greed and coveting, but for some reason, envy is creepier than even those 2 family members. Because in greed and coveting, we want what other people have. But with envy, we want them not to have it. Envy is worse because it not only desires to possess what another owns, but it is somehow bothered that another even owns it. And what it robs us of is joy in our own life. Because we so desire what others have, we cannot enjoy the life that we have been given. My wife and I have kind of a bedtime ritual now. We love to watch Everybody Loves Raymond before we go to sleep at night. The Barone brothers, you probably know them well. Robert, the tall, deep bass one, he is always reminding us that everybody loves Raymond. He somehow is deprived in his own life because Raymond seems to get all the breaks, all the parents' love, all the good jobs, all the tickets to the sports team. Raymond just gets everything, and Robert gets nothing. We see him moping and grieving. He's a little like the Winnie the Pooh character Eeyore, for whom life is just all bad. That's what envy does to us. It so empties us of our ability to receive joy, to enjoy the blessings of life that are given to us. We become blinded to all that has been entrusted to us because our eyes are always on what other people have. It's a very sad thing. Envy has had pairs all through history. Anastasia and Drusilla, Ray and Robert Barone. We also see envy in the great story of Mozart and his arch nemesis, Salieri, who somehow looks on the great gifts that this spoiled brat Mozart has been given, and he does not have the same music within him. And his life is somehow diminished because another person has all of these great gifts of music. The same story is found in Cain and Abel. One is not able to appreciate the skills and gifts and enrichment that he has because of what his brother has. When we come to the place in life that we are deprived because another is blessed, we're visiting that creepy little sin called envy, and it will rob us of our very life. Sadly, envy has made its way into the churches that we attend. Have you ever been on the way to church on a Sunday morning and you've gotten up early, you've wrestled 3 or 4 children, you've fed them, you've dressed them, and about the time you're ready to get in the car, the family's having the biggest fight it's had all week long. You're hauling 10% of your hard-earned income with you. You're headed that way and you're going to be volunteering in a choir or a nursery that day. Here you are on a morning that every bone in your body wants to sleep in and put the kids in front of the TV watching a video program. On a morning like this, here you go to church and you drive through your neighborhood. You're passing the homes of people who are sitting on their back porch sipping hazelnut coffee and dressed in their house robes and slippers and reading the Sunday morning newspaper, just kicking back, doing nothing, owing no one anything, no one needing to know where they are. and something rises inside you of envy toward this person. You get to church, and you're a part of this saintly crew that's pouring out your guts for the work of God in the world, while your neighbors don't have a care in the world. Envy. Envy finds its way into church as we sometimes think that we are deprived because of all that God asks of us, all that God commands of us, all the income that we have to give to make this thing work, all the volunteer hours of service, all the wrestling with kids just to show up at church, while the rest of the world is so privileged to sit on their back porch in utter leisure. That's envy. This sense that we see what another has while looking at all that is required of us, and our lives suddenly are emptied of the joy of the very life that we've been given. There's a man in my life that I always think about when I think of the opposite of envy. He passed away just recently. His name is Bill Sullivan. Bill was my first district superintendent when I was a young pastor in North Carolina, when our children were very small. Bill would come and would stay at our home in a guest bedroom. He would give to our children quarters and talk to them about how blessed they were to be in a family that was doing the work of God. Bill would often speak to me as a young pastor, talking about the privilege of being able to stand on Sunday mornings and offer the very bread of life to a congregation. The privilege of being invited into people's lives at times when no one else was invited. The moments of joy with births and weddings, the moments of pain with deaths, job losses, tragedies. He said, you get to be there when no one else is there. It's a part of the blessing of God upon you in this call that He's given. It took me a few decades to realize the richness of the gift that Bill had brought to me. He had blessed me, and he had taught me that I was a blessed person, so that when I looked around at a job, my family, even the hard moments in life, I could enjoy what God had richly given to me. And I could, like Bill, celebrate the great gifts that God had given to other people. Blessing. Blessing is the antidote to envy. First, receiving it from God as that rich gift so that we're able to look at the things we hold in our hands, the privileges we have, the friendships, relationships, and families that we have, and even in the hard times, being able to thank God for our life. Not being robbed of our own life by being envious of the life of others. It's a creepy little sin, but maybe it's not a little sin at all. I suppose it's a deadly sin if it robs us of the joy of living out our own life under the blessing of God and being able to celebrate with other people when God is good to them. My prayer is that on this day, as you converse together about this creepy little sin, that God might enlarge your soul and that you might taste the blessing that He gives to you, and that you might be able to celebrate God's blessings for others. Have a great day.